Hi, this is Joe. If you're here for the first time, I'm a vocal channel for Source, and if you um, or if you're in here again, I'm welcome back. I I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here. I'm here to help you go through this process of awakening, and by telling you of my experiences, as well as to channel Source, so that you have the what do you call it, direct truth from source as far as what to expect and what are the things that are of of your best, I would say, to of your best interest in this time. So I would say, just as a some of my self experience is when I went through it about a year and a half ago, that I didn't have that much people to help me. I didn't have anybody to help me at that time. Nobody on social media or anything. And so angels sent me, I mean, like numbers, angel numbers, they'd call them. And I just looked them up in Pinterest as far as what they meant. And I got information like through um, books. I mean, that links came up in Pinterest for specific books I could read to figure out what was going on, and I did it that way. So, my purpose here is to tell you my experience, but also to be that your guide, so that you don't have to do the same thing. I mean, you still have to. You can I can at least give you the information, and then you can look it up for yourself to make sure that you resonate with it, and that it does feel true to you. And that's the art of discernment is what's true. What do you feel is true to you in the discernment? And you'll notice that through the this process that you will be able to discern that these messages are truth, and they will help you through the process. So with that, I would say my experience is that when I was going through it is like the first thing that I had to go and talk to about is just my childhood, my experience, just to go through the traumas of childhood experiences, because that is when we didn't, as a family, it was pretty much a dysfunctional family in which that nobody talked about their issues. We were just, we always stayed to ourselves. Nobody really wanted to bring up issues because that was, how can I say it? That was the idea that a happy family, I mean, a family that didn't argue or didn't argue was a happy family, and that wasn't true. I mean, there's and obviously domestic violence and stuff that occur in families that, but in this case, I mean, there was no expressing issues or with things or even talking about feelings or anything at the time. So I mean, doing when you grow up in that and then have all that bottled up emotions, and then when you become a adult and get married and stuff, then you bring that trauma with you, and not only that is it from my parents, but also I mean it's I believe it's also from my my ancestors, my great grandparents and stuff. I think they had a similar behavior, so everybody kind of followed suit with the same things, and by you choosing as your soul choosing to deal with these issues, I don't maybe I think this is quite common amongst families that the communication, especially now, it's even I think more even worse because we're all connected to our devices, um, rather than talking to everybody and to every family member in the house. Everybody's connected to a device and doing their own thing, and I see that also in restaurants and stuff where couples and families are supposed to be eating dinner together, but physically they're together, but when you look at them, they're all staring at their devices. So, which doesn't help. I mean, it just augments the um, the issue because people, I mean, in families that don't, if children or parents or can't talk to each other and do the simple things as far as communication and feeling either the lack of attention or a lack of love or a lack of understanding a person's feelings. It's all through communication, and I have to say that. myself was I speak to myself that I love to speak to everybody and talk to everybody, but at the same time I wasn't I'm still I'm dealing with it, but I'm dealing with it. I'm much better than I was before, about talking about my feelings and um, having, I guess, expressing myself in a way that is helpful for, one, get the feelings out, and two, that the other person knows that it's hurting my feelings, or it makes me feel better, it makes me feel whatever. And just to that interaction of communication. So if you're getting this message, that's and maybe one example that is example that I went through, and for you to use as an example that I think a lot of families, um, just kind of my now experience. I have to say that with my family, having everybody having devices, whether it's iPads or phones, or it's just what do you call it, or an Xbox. It's just and it's a similar situation where every day it's basically trying to limit the use so that everybody can actually communicate for a short period of time at least, or sometime during the day, during at least dinner, to be able to communicate how your day, how you, what are your high points, what are your low points of the day, how you feeling, what's going on, and things like that, that are that are just basic conversation, and about being able to be intimate with another family member, being whether to understand how things are going, whether they need help. And that's the thing too, is if you don't communicate, then nobody can tell if you need help. And whether it's being of whatever help you need, that's the biggest concern I have, and I see it in my family that that it's difficult to get the information out of everybody, trying to, if they need help, and if they do, then what can we do to help? And I see that as a positive, or something that we have to work on, um, as a family and as a society, is to try to, the devices were sold to us as devices to connect with and be connected, but it's not, it hasn't panned out that way. As far as it's intimately within families and stuff, I see it the opposite. So um, that's one thing, at the limit on the time on those devices, and to do something like board games or something that can, and dinners together and things without the phones and devices, so that you can use that time to truly talk to one another, and find out what's going on. So that's my experience, with communication, and with bringing up the traumas of what I went through as a child, and how that has applied me throughout the awakening process, to be able to process that and to release it. Um, so, and I think if you're hearing this message, you may be going through the same thing. I can't say that I'm perfect yet. I'm still working. I've released a lot of emotions, but at least talking through, communicating is still, I'm still have to work on it. But it's like anything, it's a process. And even though I'm through the awakening process and through that, it's still, it's a lifelong journey to what do you call 'em? to it's a lifetime journey. So with that, I don't know, I don't have anything more to say, but I do love you, and I thank you for being on and being here. And if there's, let's see if there's anything else from source, and the anything else they need, please leave a comment, or and I would appreciate if you guys do um, like it and subscribe. That'll help me, help you, as far as getting out to more people, and to that so you understand that the things that I went through, and my experiences, as well as the channeling of source, and how got it relates to you, can help you, is something of what I want to be your what do you call it, resource to for that help. So love you. Have a good night. Bye.